Hi, everybody. Um, we are going to have a great call today. We are going to talk a lot about um, getting ready for AEP. I am going to share my screen. Josh is not going to be with us today. He had somewhere else that he had to be. So he has left me just to share with you some great tips on getting started with AEP. So we're glad to see a lot of you here today. I was just telling Heather, if you just joined us, that it's nice to see a lot of new faces every third Wednesday. It seems like we get a lot of new people joining the call. We're really excited about that. Um, we were just mentioning how at this time of year you kind of start thinking about AEP and start getting ready for February. You're kind of wishing your life away because you have to start thinking about preparing, and you're kind of already wishing that it was over because it starts getting a little overwhelming. But we're going to talk today about preparing for AEP and giving you some tips, hopefully some great tips just to help you think about it in a little easier way, and hope that these will help you just to get your thoughts together. The first slide here just talks about how some of the top performing sales agents approach AEP. A lot of them approach it kind of like a finely tuned campaign. They don't just get through AEP, but they thrive during it by just combining strategy, preparation, and execution. We're going to talk about here's what here's what the best in the industry do during AEP. So the next slide, can you guys see the next? There we go. So preparation begins early. So you got to start thinking about it early. And what I mean by early is now, between like July and August, with getting your certifications done, your trainings, and organizing all of your client data. So I've talked to several of you on the phone, may not be you guys here exactly on this call this morning, but I've talked to several agents along the way, and they'll say, well, I'm still doing my certifications. And so that's good to hear. You want to make sure that you do get those certifications out of the way and that you've got those done so that, in August and September, you can start really concentrating on getting your client data together and really figuring out how am I going to handle, now that I know what plans are and now that I know what's going to be happening exactly with the people that I have, how I'm going to handle those people. Top agents contact clients before October 15th just to set expectations, answer any questions they've got, and start possibly scheduling at appointments. So you want to start reaching out to your people, just letting them know that AEP is coming up, that they are to expect to get their knock in the mail, if they've got any questions about things that they're starting to get. And if they want to see you, you want to go ahead and get them on the calendar. So go ahead and start setting those appointments ahead of time so that they don't have any kind of anxiety about that as well. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of the clients that you already have. That book of business is very important to you because those people, if you take care of them, will be the people that will send you those referrals along the way. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of them. So top agents run a structured outreach campaign. They don't wait for calls. They proactively reach out, like we were just talking about, to their existing clients, just to review changes and keep retention. They also reach out to prospects and leads. So hopefully along the way, you've kept some kind of a notepad or something where you've run into people that maybe you aren't able to change them or do anything for them, and you've got that list that you've written down those people. And so you're now able to reach out to them and make them appointments. And so now you're able to call them and set them up an appointment and get them going. You want to use an email, phone, or text and mailers, all CMS compliant, of course. So however you're going to reach out to your clients, you want to start getting that set up. So if you're going to do it by email, if you're going to do it by ringless voicemail, if you're going to do it by text, or if you're going to start doing mailers, you've got to really start getting that on your radar right now, because you've got to start doing that very soon. So however you want to run your campaign, you've just got to start really thinking about that. And if any of those things are things that you want to do and you're not exactly sure about how to do them, please give me a call and I can help you. Kim Bruner is really good at all of these things too. So both of us can help you know, okay, well, if I want to send out a ringless voicemail, how do I do that? Well, we can help you do that. Maintain a call contact schedule. So give yourself some daily goals. Just for instance, if I want to make 20 calls a day and I want to book 5+ appointments a day, just make sure that you're putting that down. You're writing it down somewhere. This is what I want to do today. I want to get up on next Monday and I want to make sure that I make 20 calls a day and that I book 5 different appointments. So I've given myself that goal, and I don't get up from my desk until I've done that. So that just kind of gives you, so you're not just all over the place. I'm not just getting up, making 3 or 4 calls, and then I'm done for the day. I didn't accomplish anything, so I got frustrated and I just got up from my desk and I moved on. So just kind of give yourself those goals. Well, hold on just one second. I skipped that accidentally. So top agents pack their schedule. AEP is only 54 days. So top agents plan to see 5 to 8 clients per day, whether it's in person, by phone, or by Zoom. They plan to work evenings, weekends with protected time for follow-ups and admins, and they batch tasks. And what I mean by batch task is that they make sure that they do things in groups. So if I'm going to, if I know one day I'm going to make 3 hours of calls, then that's what I do. And then I'm going to make 4 hours of appointments. So I don't put 2 hours of calls, then I go run an appointment, then I come back and make 2 hours more of calls, and then go back out and run appointments. I make it very useful of my time. So I'm going to put those 3 hours of calls together, and then I'm going to run 4 hours of appointments. So I'm not mixing them all up so that I'm not making the most of my time. Okay, so you've got to get that together. But I'm going to tell you one thing that I used to do, and this is something that I'm sure a lot of you do as well. We all have families, and those families expect things from us. But, you just have to kind of sit your family down and say, this is AEP. And especially if some of you are new and you've never gone through this, or maybe you've gone through one AEP, but you just kind of have to sit your family down and say, look, this is the time where I make money. This is my period of time. So I'm going to be working evenings. I'm going to be working weekends. And so this is it. It's going to be 2 months basically for me. And so I just need you to be patient with me. So you just got to let them know that AEP is only 54 days and I've just got to have your patience with me. So just top agents make sure that their families are patient with them, and that you're willing to take that time to do that. So they pack their schedule those 54 days. Top agents also know their plans. So they've memorized the strengths and weaknesses of each plan in their market. My market may not be the same as your market. So we may not be learning the same plan, but you do memorize the strengths and weaknesses of the plans in your markets. Like right now, we're getting first looks out there. You can start looking at those, learning some of them. They may change a little bit somewhat, but they're not going to change a whole lot. But you can start looking at those first looks and getting to know the plans in your area. You can quickly compare formularies, provider networks, and cost. So get to know the networks in your area so that that's not something that you're continually having to look up. So if this is new for you, this is something that you've not done a whole lot, know the networks, know the providers in your town, so that that's something that you can quickly compare. So if somebody says, well, I use Dr. So-and-so, you're not constantly having to go back to that Humana provider look up to find out if that doctor takes that Humana plan. So that just makes it easier for you. Top agents use decision support tools and CRMs to make recommendations faster. So hopefully you're using some type of CRM, or you're using Medicare.gov, or something, or Connecture, to help you with that client to make the decision of the plan that they need that works best for them. So if you're not using some type of that tool, and that takes us to this next slide, which is use tech to their advantage. So it talks about using the platforms like Sunfire or Connecture to quote plans, check eligibility, submit enrollments quickly and compliantly, and to just use maybe Connecture as your CRM. If you're not using those things and you're not comfortable with them, or you don't even know how to get in them, please feel free to give me a call and we can help you walk through them. We also have different videos on them that you can go in and watch, but we want you to be comfortable with those enrollment platforms because they do help a lot. I know a lot of us use Medicare.gov as well, which is a great platform to use to find out what is the best plan for the person that I'm sitting in front of. And that's a great platform as well. But you'd want to be using something, use some kind of technology to your advantage. The next slide is just going to talk about staying compliant. I'll have to make sure that during this time that we're staying compliant. We get very, very busy during AEP, and this is where we kind of, tend to drop our, I guess, compliantness, if you want to call it that, because we're running fast and we're trying to get around and do things fast so we can get to the next appointment. And we tend to get away from doing things the right way. But you always want to make sure that you follow CMS guidelines. So you want to record all of your sales calls if you're doing things over the phone. You want to make sure that you get that scope of appointment form 48 hours in advance, just like we're supposed to, unless they're a walk-in. You want to provide accurate, unbiased information, because this protects your book of business and keeps all the carriers happy. So just make sure that you're staying compliant. And if you've got any questions about any compliantness, please just give us a call. I have people that call me all the time and want to know, am I being compliant by asking this, or am I being compliant by doing this? Or if I put this on a marketing piece, is this compliant? And we can always answer those questions for you. So feel free to give us a call about that. So you want to deliver real value to your members. So help your clients, just go beyond selling. You might need to help your clients apply for extra help or Medicaid. We do that a lot at our office. And that's a choice for you. You don't have to do that, but sometimes that does deliver that real value to your member. If we are working with someone that we know might qualify for extra help or Medicaid, a lot of people keep those forms in their bag, and you can help that person fill out that form and get it turned in to the Medicaid office just to see if they would qualify for extra help or Medicaid. And I'm going to tell you, once you do that for somebody, they're going to be a member for life for you. You can help review drug cost savings, just by using that Medicare.gov tool. You can refer clients to social or financial resources when needed. And what I mean by that is, just for instance, like we have a NACOG office here that offers different benefits for members, like maybe if they're looking for some help, or maybe a sitter, something like that. Our plans don't offer that kind of thing, but they might be able to go to the NACOG office and find that information there. So if we suggest that, that might be a place that they can go. If they need a financial resource that is not available through them applying for extra help or Medicaid, they might be able to apply for the Medicaid waiver program through the NACOG office, so they can go there and do that. This just builds long-term trust and referrals for you. So just going that extra mile just delivers real value to you as an agent. The next slide is going to talk about asking for referrals. Top agents always, got something popping up on my screen. Hold on just one second. So top agents always ask for referrals, and we cannot talk to you about this enough, and I'm sure you hear this all of the time. But asking somebody, who else do you know that needs help reviewing their Medicare plan, is the most important thing that you can do. Working your book of business, we have agents that's all they do, is just simply work their book of business. They don't go out and market. They don't do anything but sit at home and work their book of business. So they're making phone calls to the people that they already have and just simply asking them for referrals. So when you write someone, do not leave that house without asking them, who else do you know that needs help reviewing their Medicare plan? Because I can assure you they all have somebody else that they know that has a Medicare, that needs reviewing of their Medicare plan. So don't leave the house without doing that. The other thing that you can always do is make sure that when you get home, sending out a thank you note and including several business cards, asking again for that client to pass these along to anyone that they can help. So that's always a big plus as well. Sending out a thank you note to someone that you just wrote and putting 3 or 4 business cards in there so that they can pass that along will always help you with those referrals as well. Tracking everything is important on your part. Using spreadsheets or CRMs to log the submitted apps that you've sent in. Follow-up dates, if you know that you want to follow up with someone, is important to keep up with. Reviewing data nightly, just to adjust your next day plans. All of these things are very important. So making sure that you're tracking all of this information can help you immensely. And this is things that top agents do all of the time. So just making sure that you're keeping up with this information can help you so much. If you don't keep up with this, nobody else is going to for you. So just make sure that you keep up with it. Treat AEP like game time. Top agents operate with urgency, focus, and stamina. Many do 30 to 60 plus enrollments during AEP, depending on the region and strategy. They stay energized energized with routines, healthy habits, and a clear daily plan. So game time, just it's urgent when you're game time. So we always talk about the urgency. If you're on the phone with a member and you're talking about maybe they need to come into your office and see you, or you're doing a seminar, you've got to treat that with urgency. If you don't treat making an appointment with you urgent on the phone, they're not going to make an appointment with you. They just feel like, well, I can just wait till December to come and see Joe Fowler, or I can just wait until, the very last day. Well, you don't want them to do that for sure. So you've got to act like this is urgent for you to get into my office and see me. This is very important. And the minute that you start treating it with urgency, your member will as well. So that's a big plus there. After AEP, great agents don't disappear. So make sure that you follow up with your people in December and January to confirm that their plan enrollment, they've gotten their ID cards, their PCP has been selected, and start building toward OEP and SCP business. So just please don't disappear on your people. If those of you that have an office and you've got office staff help, make sure that those people are helping you with this. But if you don't, make sure that you're taking the time to do this. Just great agents, I promise you, don't disappear on people. That is exactly how you lose people in OEP. So if you write somebody during AEP and you don't show back up or talk to them in January, February, or March, that is exactly how you lose them in OEP, because somebody else is going to follow up with them, I promise you, and they're going to talk them into something different because they can in OEP. So that's so important for you to hang on to that member, is for you to reach out to them. People laugh about this sometimes, but you've got to mentally and physically prepare. AEP is a marathon. Plan your work-life balance, your meals, your sleep, and your breaks. You've got to stay positive and energized. Your clients notice that. If you're just exhausted, then that's how your clients are going to be in front of you. So if you're energized and happy, that's how your clients are going to be. So we used to have an agent that every year at our meetings, she used to give us these survival kits, and they used to have all of these little fun things in them for AEP. But she used to always give this nice little talk about how we should keep our cars, and the things that we should keep in our car, like the meals that we should keep with us every day, the things that we should eat that kept us energized, and not just to go through a drive-through every day, and how important that those things were for our bodies. And it all made such a difference. So we don't really think about that a lot of times, but those things do matter. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself during AEP, because all of these other things make a difference. But if we're not taking care of ourselves, that can reflect on all of those other things that we've just talked about. So I'm going to open it up to any questions. If anybody's got any questions about AEP and how they can prepare for AEP, I will be more than happy to answer those for you. I know that sometimes the questions are, how do I market during AEP? How do I get my name out there? And just know that the next Wednesday, that's what we're going to talk about, is giving you some ideas on how to market yourself, because I know that that can always be a question as well. But anybody got anything that they want to ask about today's webinar?
Hey, Lisa.
Yes.
I always have questions. I feel like I should know this one, but I don't. Is there a date where like we can just go ahead and start advertising, hey, AEP are these dates? Isn't there like a date when that's allowed?
Well, AEP doesn't actually start until October the 15th. So really you cannot start sharing plan information until October the 15th.
No, you can start talking to people October the 1st.
You can.
Okay, so like let's say a newspaper ad, for instance, October 1st is when I would want to like say the AEP dates. That's as soon as that's the earliest I should mention those dates in an ad.
You can do it now.
Um,
You can, I mean, it's on Medicare.gov. You know,
Okay,
everybody knows it's AEP is October 15th to December the 7th. I don't mean to be rude about that, but it's just kind of standard.
I got you. Okay, so I'm just imagining that rules are there that aren't there. So, okay, thank you.
you can't start writing plans, Lana, until October the 15th. Now, I'm going to tell you that Humana, there's a couple of companies like Humana is one of them that will allow you to start writing plans October the 1st. Of course, you cannot take the application with you. There's a lot of little rules in there. If anybody wants to know about that, we can talk about that. Of course, you can write the application. You have to leave it with the member. And then they have to mail it themselves October the 15th.
Okay,
Okay. But you
thank
can't
you.
start actually writing plans until October the 15th.
Okay,
Now they are going to start getting, I'm just going to tell you, they're going to start getting their ANOCs. Okay. So they're going to know a lot of this information around October the 1st. Okay. So they're going to know a lot of information. But
So
we are not actually supposed to start writing plans until October the 15th. Any
Lisa, I
other
do a
questions?
lot of
Go ahead.
I do a lot of ACA stuff. And you're talking about, bunching your meetings and things like that. I bet you I have 25 clients that one of the spouses is on Medicare with me, and one of them is on ACA. And I will always try to talk to those folks and say, hey, let's wait till after November the 1st so I can get both of y'all. Let's do it. Let's do it early November so I can get both y'all in one appointment time. And that really helps me if you're writing ACA. Now, if you're not writing ACA, that doesn't matter. But that's just one of the things that I learned real soon, that I could save my time a lot by doing it that way. Make sense?
That's great.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
great
a big
advice.
part of my strategy is to try to do ACA and Medicare with those 60-year-old ladies, and 65-year-old men. That kind of thing typically is what it is.
That's great advice. Because a lot of you do ACA and Medicare together. So that's great advice to wait so that you make one appointment.
One appointment. Yeah.
That's right. Organizing.
Yeah, just
Using
that, and then if
making the
it's the
best use
one
of your time.
call, I've done my ACA call and my Medicare call with one call.
That's right. It's just making the best use of your time.
Make the best use. Yeah, but that's one of the things that I learned early on that really helped me to be efficient or more efficient.
That's right. Well, does anybody else have any questions? If not, it is 9:30, about to turn 9:30 on the nose, and we are going to let Heather start her part of the call. And